we might as well rock and roll.
Yes, guys, big up everyone, big up how we're all doing. First, I just need to talk about this first, because someone's trying to play, you know, thinking they're daddy bollocks here, yeah. So let me just share my screen to end all this crap right here. So the music for my YouTube channel comes from Epidemic Sound, which is here. Epidemic Sound is where you can buy a monthly subscription and pay. I pay £16 a month, and then I can use all the music on Epidemic Sound that links to your social media accounts. You can have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, and all the music there is available and free to use as long as you have a subscription, right? Okay, so good try, Trap West. I know you're trying, man. You're trying to have a bit of fun and games. I know that because you don't really own the song, because I know who writes the song and who owns the song, because I subscribe to the content that allows me to use it. So good try. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. Stop talking bollocks. Thank you. That's the end of that. You know what I mean? People try. People try. I'll give them credit. They try. Oh, dearie me. I hope everyone's doing well. Big up everyone in the chat. Thank you very much for joining me today. And we got loads to talk about, man. Loads to talk about. Yeah, man. Go. Everyone can use that song. That's what I'm saying. Go to Epidemic Sound. Pay your monthly subscription. Do you know what I mean? And then you can use any music you like. And also on the music, it tells you who wrote the song and who plays the song. So yeah, we're all here, man. As I say, I'm all for people trying stuff, man. I'm all for people trying stuff, having a bit of fun and games. But this is my livelihood, yeah. So don't fuck with my livelihood. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't fuck with my livelihood. Big up everyone, man. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much. Big up to my man Trap West in the chat as well. Stay around, man. Stay around. As you said, I don't ban anyone, by the way. Everyone's free to come onto the channel and have their say. And we just, we fight back. Like the stream on the way in, guys. Hit the share, hit the subscribe, all that beautiful stuff. Thank you for everyone being here on this lovely Wednesday afternoon. And we're going to big up to everyone, though. Hope you're all doing good. Everyone's having a great week, having a positive week. And hope you're all doing good. Hope everyone's doing good. Hopefully we can bring a bit more light to the situation between everything that's going on at the moment. It looks like Liverpool are basically doing their best power play right now. It's Isak, it's Ekitike. It's going to be one of them. Is it going to be none of them? Is it going to be both of them? Are Newcastle playing it better than Liverpool right now? What's going on? We're going to have a chat about it. But guys, remember, you got to talk quietly. Yeah, ASMR. Yeah, you got to talk quietly. We got to talk quietly into the microphone. Yeah, because Newcastle fans are really pissed off because no one told Newcastle fans that you're allowed to bid for players, even if they're under contract. You're not allowed. So, yeah, that's just, we got to make that clear right away. We can't talk too loud about it because they hear you from miles away. So, yeah, just let that know. All right. Newcastle fans are very upset with Liverpool right now because we're reporting the news from people that know better than we do. And then we put it out there and then we're scumbags. Do you know what I mean? It's all mad. It's all mad. But big up the chat. Hope you're doing well. Big up, beautiful people. Big up my man Ends in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Sure, the Georges can hear, man. Big up Footy Reacts TV in the house as well. Yeah, look, the rattle. Look, this is one thing I would say, right? I think as a football fan, we can all admit sometimes we're all hypocrites, yeah? As a football fan. We will tell Zubimendi, Zubimendi, you're a bitch. Why didn't you leave Real Sociedad for Liverpool? Because you wanted to stay with the Mountains. But then we're trying to tell Trent, why are you going to Real Madrid when you're Liverpool? We're all hypocrites, yeah? That's what we are, right? We all fall in line, right? And big up Aussie in the chat as well. It's what we are. So I can't blame Newcastle for being upset. But, it's their best player at Liverpool going forward. We might not get him. We might get him. Who knows? But, it's not me. It's not Ends. It's not Coppish. It's not Craig from Anfield Agenda. We just... We didn't just all sit down together one day and decide, you know what, we're going to irritate the Newcastle fan base because we want Alexander Isak. We didn't all just sit there one day. We haven't all got one massive WhatsApp group. All right, what should we do today? Let's wind up Newcastle fans and make up all these rumours about Alexander Isak. No, these rumours have come out because reporters and journalists doing their job have found out information. They put it out online and then we talk about it. And guess what? Liverpool fans are allowed to be gassed. Liverpool fans are allowed to be happy about this, yeah? We have a chance to buy maybe Alexander Isak. We're going to talk about it. It might not happen, but, we're allowed to be excited and gassed about it. We can't talk about it because it might hurt people's feelings. It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Be up Phoenix in the chat. Be up Scottish Bear as well. Be up Double A as well. It's just, don't talk about anything, man. Don't talk about it. You're not allowed to. It upsets everyone. Does it upset me when Real Madrid are after Konate constantly and getting in his ear so Konate don't sign a new contract? Of course, pisses me off. I hate Real Madrid because of it. I get it, but it's football and life goes on and, shit happens and you've got an exceptional footballer that a bigger team wants to buy. It's natural, man. It's natural. And these things will always happen in football. There's always a bigger team that comes along and takes your players. And Liverpool try and do that with Newcastle. Real Madrid have done it with Liverpool. The circle continues, yeah? So, yeah, everyone's getting really, it's getting a bit muddy out there. Let's say it that way. But look, Liverpool are trying to play this massive power play right now. And good for Liverpool. I keep saying this. I want Liverpool to be Bastard FC. No more nice guy. No more, okay, we won't take him. Move on to the next one. No, we're being Bastard FC, man. We've got to be Bastard FC, so that's what we're doing. Liverpool want Alexander Isak. They've made it apparently clear to Newcastle United that they want Alexander Isak. They apparently have approached Newcastle, and that is all it is at the moment. It's just an approach. Look, we've not heard anything back from Alexander Isak yet. There's been no information coming back the other way that Alexander Isak is not for sale in any kind of way. And until we hear that, Liverpool have to carry on, and we have to carry on. Today we have now been reported to we've been having conversations with Ekitike. David Ornstein dropped the bomber about an hour or so ago. Liverpool have made contact with Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. They are working on a signing, a forward, having already approached Alexander Isak. Nowhere in that statement from David Ornstein does it say that Newcastle have turned them down. Again, Liverpool contact Frankfurt over a possible move for Hugo Ekitike. The same way Liverpool contacted Newcastle over the possibility of buying Alexander Isak. Liverpool currently working on the 23-year-old forward, having also approached Newcastle for Alexander Isak. Newcastle want to keep the 25-year-old Ekitike interest ongoing. That is from David Ornstein today. So David Ornstein is basically saying, Newcastle want Ekitike. Now he's reported today that 24 hours ago, Liverpool approached Newcastle about the availability of Alexander Isak. Today, Liverpool have now approached the Frankfurt about the availability of Ekitike. There's been no wording that any bid has been put in. The only person that's put a bid in for any player so far is actually Newcastle for Ekitike. The first bid got turned down. So David Ornstein has not said at this moment in time that Liverpool have bid for either player. They have made approaches for both players. Now, Liverpool might be a little bit concerned here. Liverpool might be a little bit concerned. Before I get to that, and James's point is good here, this got reported to me this afternoon. Liverpool are toying with the idea of attempting to sign both Isak and Ekitike. Could you imagine that? That is the ultimate shithousery if I've ever seen one. And Liverpool can afford it. Liverpool can afford it. Maybe people might not, people might not, realise this, but if Luis Diaz is leaving Liverpool, Liverpool might not go and buy a left winger. Liverpool might not go out and go and buy a left winger, Liverpool might just go decide and go, you know what? Let's go and buy Ekitike and Isak. And Ekitike can float over on that left-hand side, and Isak could be our number one striker, or Ekitike could be the Jota replacement, because we have got to replace Diogo Jota. So Liverpool might not be in the market for a left winger. They might be in the market of thinking, you know what, let's get fucking both and play Newcastle. I don't know. This is a massive poker game that Liverpool are playing, and you got to be careful with poker games because sometimes you think you've got the best hand in the game and the smaller hand can beat you. So you do have to worry when you're playing a game like that, which we'll get more into in a minute. Big up my man Aaron in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well, man. Guys, go and subscribe to Aaron's channel. Aaron Talks Arsenal. Go and subscribe to his channel. I would appreciate that. I've got a super. Let's read that. Super. Big up, Ride Shotgun. Shotgun. Hope you're doing well. I'm worried we'll end up with egg on our faces, is saying Ride. And this is what a lot of people are saying at the moment. That could be a possibility because, Liverpool are, there's a possibility where Liverpool might not get both strikers because Isak is a Newcastle striker right now. We have to respect that, yeah. He's at Newcastle. He's their player. We respect that. Ekitike, the only person that's bid for Ekitike so far is Newcastle. Now, Newcastle could fuck us over. There's no doubt about this. Newcastle could go, you know what? We're not having that. Let's do a big bid for Ekitike. Let's get him in. Let's beat Liverpool to it. And then Liverpool have left a egg in their face. Do you know what I mean? That can happen. There's no doubt about it. What's going on in the chat? Who wants to ban who? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Let me look. Is there someone? Who's this Christian? Oh, Cristiano. He's just said that. That's all he said. Liverpool makes second. Newcastle made second bid. Has he said anything else that I've missed? Has he said anything else that I've missed? Oh, right. Oh, okay. No, man, what you doing, man? I thought Liverpool had Jota. Right, man, you can't say that shit. What we doing here, man? What we doing, man? What we doing? What we doing? You can't be saying that shit, man. What we doing? Come on. Yeah, I just saw it. I just done it. Yeah. You can't be saying that shit. That's a man that's passed away and lost his life. You know, it's not like you didn't know. Do you know what I mean? You can't be saying shit like that, man. You can't be saying shit like that. You can't be saying shit like that. We're all here for banter, yeah? We're all here for banter. But no, that's a man's life you're taking the piss out of here. You can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that, man. You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. I'm sorry, you can't be doing that. I think it's is it yeah, let me know if it's come up as he's been banned because I can't see it. Has it come up? Let's sort this shit out, man, and then we'll carry on. Yeah, he's out of here, man. He's out of here. He is out of here. Out of here. Permaban. Yeah, big up. Big up the mods, man. If I don't see it, mods, you just take care of it, yeah? If I don't see it, guys, please, you take care of that sort of thing. You have my wish is there. Like, I don't usually ban people, and I don't like it when the mods ban people for no reason. But that kind of shit, banned instantly. So, guys, if you see anything like that again, and I don't see it, I trust you entirely just to ban the fucker. Yeah, the mods in the chat. Yeah, no worries, on. Yeah, ban the fuckers, man. Ban the fuckers. If you see anything like that again in the live chat, guys, and I've not picked it up, not seen it, just get on with it. Ban the fuckers, and then tell me later on what's happened if I've missed it. Because obviously, when there's a lot of people in the chat, can go really quick. So yeah, big up the chat for letting me know about that. Yeah, we can't have that around here, man. You know, I can't believe someone said that. I can't believe someone said that, man. That's just not on. That's not on at all. Ben Jacobs' tweet. What's Benjamin? What's Benjamin Jacobs said now? Let's have a look. Ben Jacobs says, while Alexander Isak remains Liverpool's priority, they are ready to advance quickly on a deal for Hugo Ekitike once Newcastle have provided clarity on Isak's situation. Richard Hughes is set to make the final call soon with input from Michael Edwards. Yeah, Sir Richard Hughes ain't fucking around, man. Sir Richard Hughes is not fucking around. You know what I mean? This is what I like our club doing, man. This is what I like our club doing. We're moving in the right direction. There's a plan A and a plan B straight away. You're making an attempt to get plan A, which I appreciate the football club for doing. You know, the football club have made an official attempt to go and buy Alexander Isak, which they probably knew was going to be very difficult, but they want to make that attempt because the club feel like they're at that level now, and they want to go and get that level caliber of footballer in the door. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to use their intent and go and buy him. We could still do it. But at the same time, you've got to make sure you have plan B. Because if plan A doesn't work out, You don't want to look like you've got mud on your face and you're sitting there and there's nothing to look around and you're like, oh shit, now I've got to play Chiesa up front. So Liverpool are putting everything in the right bed at the moment. Again, Isak Ekitike, it's going to be one of them. And it's good. It's good business. It's good business. Now, I like Ekitike. I'm happy. I'm very, very happy for Hugo Ekitike at Liverpool. I know there's a lot of Liverpool fans are a bit, oh, I don't know, it's such a come down from Isak. I get it, right? But Ekitike is a good footballer. I think he had 22 goals and 12 assists last season in all competitions for Frankfurt. I think all competitions, 22 goals, 12 assists. His numbers dropped off a little bit when Marmoush left because that was the two of them up front together and he became the leading man on his own. And what I've always said, guys, is you got to profile the player and not the club. You got to profile the player and not the club. Sometimes you look at João Pedro, yeah? Not a lot of people wanted João Pedro because they said he's not a goal scorer. He wouldn't be good enough. You know, look at him at Brighton. He gets like 5 or 6 goals a season. He's not really the leading man. And you look at him, Chelsea, in his first 2 games, you just put better players around him and he's got all the quality in the world. And he'll probably go on to have a really, really good season with Chelsea this coming season. You know, you got to profile players and not the teams they're at. Look at the teams they're at. You know, Frankfurt are a good side. I think they finished like 3rd or 4th in Germany. They're a good side, but they're not the elite side there. You know, he hasn't got the special players around him. And then Mamouche left in January, and that was pretty much it for Ekitike at Frankfurt with the quality around him. Now, you put Ekitike's skill set in a Liverpool shirt with much better footballers around him, then Ekitike's going to do better than a lot of people think. You know, they do a lot better than people think. You know, and people mature and peak in different years. Like people will say he was at PSG and it didn't quite work. Yeah, and Mbappe and Messi were at PSG as well and it didn't quite work either. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, everyone's different. I'm happy with Ekitike. His skill set is very, very similar to an Alexander Isak. I think Isak obviously is at this moment in time in his career is a better goal scorer. But there is a lot of Ekitike's game that is very good for me. And I think if you put him in a Liverpool shirt and you put him alongside Mo Salah, you put him alongside Florian Wirtz and McAllister and Gravenberch, and you got your then fullbacks in Frimpong and Wirtz and Conor Bradley running down the wide areas, you're going to see a lot better. You'll see a bigger, better Hugo Ekitike at Liverpool. So, yeah, Ekitike for me is a good bit of business and one I really appreciate Liverpool doing. And, you know, it's the right player for us. But obviously the A player is and always will be Alexander Isak. And as Ben Jacobs says, Alexander Isak still remains Liverpool's priority. But they've still not heard back from Newcastle. Liverpool have still not heard back from Newcastle at this moment in time. And till Liverpool can't wait. What Liverpool can't do, Liverpool can't let Newcastle buy Hugo Ekitike, and then they've got Isak and Ekitike in their team, and then we just think they're going to let us buy Isak. You know, that can't happen unless Liverpool have had guarantees already. You know, unless they've had guarantees already that he's willing to come to Liverpool and Liverpool are just, you know, letting them buy their player they need and then Liverpool go and get it. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. So we have got officially hear from Newcastle ourselves. And the fact that Weinstein and Fabrizio and Ben Jacobs especially keep putting out article after article, and at this moment in time, the only article they haven't put out is that, you know, Liverpool have gone down a dead end road. Isak's not possible. Now they've turned their attentions solely on Ekitike. But here's another one. But this is from Ben Jacobs as well. Newcastle have had a £70 million bid for Ekitike rejected and are still trying to agree a fee. Liverpool ready to advance on Ekitike quickly once they determine Isak's clarity Richard Hughes to make the final call soon with input from Michael Edwards. So this is £70 million, not €70 million. Frankfurt have turned down a £70 million bid today from Newcastle for Ekitike. How much more can Newcastle financially go up for Ekitike? And I think that's why Liverpool are stretching their muscles now. They're looking at Ekitike and going, look, we can afford you. Don't worry about it. You know, if you're going to cost us 80 million, we'll pay the 80 million. Don't worry about it. But Liverpool want Isak. I can see a world where Liverpool can buy both. I honestly can. I could see it. I don't think it will happen, but I can see a world where Liverpool can. I think we'll see Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz leave pretty soon. The Saudi market has opened today, I believe. So their transfer market is today opened. So yeah, they will be active pretty soon. We know they really like Luis Diaz and they really like Darwin Núñez. So I expect there to be sold, yeah. I think they will be sold. But here's the other thing, and this comes from actually a Newcastle sources itself. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys here. So this actually comes from Luke Edwards, who's actually like the Newcastle reporter. This comes from Luke Edwards. It's not known yet what Isak's response to Liverpool's interest will be. It is unlikely they made an approach to Newcastle without being encouraged to believe the 25-year-old was interested in a move to Anfield. And this is coming from Luke Edwards. Now, if you guys know Luke Edwards, he's been fighting with Indy for like no reason, which is quite hilarious on Twitter. But what he's saying has changed. 24 hours ago, he was basically saying Liverpool got no chance of Isak. What he's now saying is, and this is only 49 minutes ago, this report, he believes that Liverpool have been encouraged from Alexander Isak, and that is why Liverpool made their approach. Now, we know the way Liverpool work. They only really make an approach to a player if they've been told anything, they'll make an approach. So they've made their approach. They've not made the bid. We have to make this, truthful here. Liverpool have not bid. They've not put no money down on the table just yet for Alexander Isak, but they've made an approach. There's been a phone conversation. Newcastle might not like it. Newcastle fans might not like it. I hear you. But you have to understand there's been an approach. And at this moment in time, 24 hours in, there's been no knockback. Now, if I was a Newcastle fan, I'd be a bit worried there's been no knockback after 24 hours, if I was a Newcastle fan. Why has there been no knockback on this so far? Why has there been no Newcastle reporter either has really come out and said there's been knockbacks? So, I don't know. I like Ekitike. You're overpaying for Ekitike, but it's the market we're in. It's just the market we're in, guys. Would you rather pay £85 million for Ekitike or £85 million for Sesko? Do you know what I mean? This is the market we're in. And as I keep saying, when you watch Ekitike, there's a player there. You can tell he's a good player. But people always profile the club that they play for and the situation they're in. They don't really profile the footballer he is. Now, he's not a better goal scorer than Isak, obviously, but he's still a good footballer. He's still a good player. So I'd be happy. I'd be very happy with Ekitike at Liverpool. I really would. So Ian Fleming here, Mr. Ian Fleming here, says there's more chance of me joining Liverpool than there is of Isak joining. Guys, you're deluded. So you don't believe that? Hang on, let me get this right. Let me get this straight. Do you not believe that Alexander Isak would like to play for the Liverpool Football Club, because Liverpool are bigger than Newcastle and more successful than Newcastle. They're current Premier League champions. Do you believe in your heart that Alexander Isak does not want to play for Liverpool Football Club? Now, it's different from Newcastle rejecting it, where I understand it. And if Newcastle's saying he's our player, he's not going anywhere, it doesn't matter what Isak wants. I get it. And they got every right to do that, yeah? But to say that Isak would not want to join Liverpool is just a bit silly. It's just a bit silly. That's all I'm saying. But Newcastle tell me and tell Liverpool, that, look, no matter how much money you bring to the table, we're telling you right now, Alexander Isak is not leaving our football club. No money can make us let Alexander Isak leave this football club. It doesn't matter what Isak wants. If Isak wants to leave and he wants to play at Liverpool, but he's under contract with his club have got the whole right to tell him no. That's what I'm trying to say. And as Lauren says, then you have an unhappy player. This is the thing. Look, with Luis Diaz, I've said this many times with Luis Diaz, yeah? Liverpool keep saying that Luis Diaz is not for sale. It's not true. Because if Luis Diaz was not for sale, why are Liverpool not giving Luis Diaz a new contract? Luis Diaz is for sale for the right price. And if Liverpool get the right price for Luis Diaz, Liverpool will leave our football club. If Liverpool paid the right, here's the thing: Newcastle keep saying that he's not for sale. Yeah, he's not for sale. He's not for sale. He's not for sale. He's not for sale. Right? If that's the case. If that's the case, then why are they saying he costs 150 million? This is what I'm saying. You know, all clubs have got prices of players. Do I think we're going to get Isak right now? Probably not. I'll be honest, yeah? I'll be totally, utterly honest here. I think Isak stays at Newcastle, right? I think Isak stays at Newcastle. And then we'll see what happens with Isak for the next couple of seasons. I think Liverpool will get Ekitike. I think that's the one. But what Newcastle got to worry about, if you're a Newcastle fan, is if he doesn't sign a new contract with you guys. Because if you go into next season and he's not signed a new contract with 2 years to go, then then you're going to have to be a bit worried, because it's not just Liverpool that are going to come in for him. It could be Real Madrid. It could be Barcelona. It could be a lot of big teams coming in for him. If all these football clubs start to hear that Isak's not signing a new deal and he's got 2 years left in his contract, his valuation is going to go down, unfortunately. And then you're going to get even bigger teams, as well as Liverpool, looking at Alexander Isak. So that's the issue with the Isak stuff right there. That's the issue with Isak right there. It's just all a power play from both clubs. Jay, we have to make it possible because the money really is not the problem. So getting all pieces to in place to keep moving is a I can never say that word, but yeah, I've lost my tongue today. Oh, big up for just done a 5K, man. Just done a 5K. Big up for, man. Let's have a look. Lately streaming because I just finished my 5K. Big up, man. But Jamie, you're winding up Newcastle fans. Get out of yes, people be punished. Big up, my man 4 in the chat, man. Much love to you, man. Much love to you. Yeah, this is the thing. And this is why I keep saying big up Scraps. A bigger club wanting to buy a smaller club's player means you're entitled and deluded. No, exactly. Look, I like Newcastle. I think Newcastle are a wonderful side in a wonderful city, wonderful people. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Newcastle whatsoever. But the fact is that Liverpool are a bigger football club than Newcastle. And of course, Alexander Isak's head would be turned if Liverpool Football Club, he knew Liverpool Football Club were coming in for him. It's just a fact. Yeah. It's like Trent's head got turned and Konate's head got turned that Real Madrid are coming in for him. Yeah. I don't like, so it's just the way, it's the circle, ain't it, of football. Bigger clubs come in for players and their heads get turned. Now, Isak's head might have got turned. He might want to go. But again, it's all down to his parent club and what Newcastle decide. They have his contract. Liverpool don't. So it's interesting. It's an interesting one. I've got a few supers just to read out. Big up Joshua. It says the crash out from Newcastle fans was so funny. If we get it here, we go for Isak. They're talking too much. Big up Tyler Super Chat as well. It says Newcastle are playing us by not responding. They want us empty-handed. If they say no, we take Ekitike. They want to sign Ekitike. They say no. That's what I was saying earlier, Ty. Like, Liverpool can't afford Newcastle to buy Ekitike and keep Isak, and then Liverpool are in. So Liverpool have to move. So Liverpool have spoken to Frankfurt today about the availability of Ekitike. Newcastle have made a second bid today of 70 million quid. It's not enough for what Frankfurt want. They want close to 80 million or around the 80 million mark. And that's what they probably informed Liverpool with today in that phone call. They went, yeah, look, if you want to buy Ekitike, it's going to cost this much. Newcastle, we just let you know right now, Newcastle have made a second bid. That bid has been rejected, but you two clubs are in for him, So Liverpool know where they stand. We got to remember, guys, who's in charge now. This is Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. Yeah. I don't think they're the kind of guys to, mess around. And look, till I hear otherwise, that Isak's off the table, I'm still thinking we can get Alexander Isak. But Ekitike is the backup option. And if Newcastle in the next, I think we're going to hear by the end of today or tomorrow at the latest what's happening with Alexander Isak. Personally, I think we're going to either hear it at the end of today or sometime tomorrow, where Liverpool get told no, it ain't going to happen, and they just move on to Ekitike. And and Liverpool can outbid Newcastle for Ekitike. And if it comes down to it, Ekitike is going to probably pick Liverpool. Not probably, he's going to pick Liverpool over Newcastle because Liverpool need a starting striker. Ekitike is going to play every week. He's not going to play every week at Newcastle. Can we forget about all this? They're going to play together bullshit. It's not going to happen. So, yeah, I think we get Ekitike, man. Now, if Liverpool make an official bid in the next 24 hours for Alexander Isak, the only thing that tells me is that they've been encouraged to do that bid from whoever it is. So that's what I'm trying to say. We got this 24-hour, 48-hour period where we need to find out a little bit more. But it's interesting. This fight, there's a fight for Ekitike, there's a fight for Isak between two clubs, and very, very interesting. Big up John Conway says, big up Jay, I think we get Isak, he says. Big up, man. Appreciate the love, man. Thanks for everyone with the supers. And don't forget, new memberships are available as well. If you go to the join button underneath the video, there is a new 99p membership there, the Champions membership. If guys would like to become a member of the channel, I'd appreciate it. Has Isaac signed a new deal with improved wages yet? If not, why not? Exactly, Malcolm. That's another thing. All this. It's interesting, the games that are going on right now. It's like a big chess. It's basically a game of chess. Both teams are waiting for one to make a move. Now, if Liverpool make an official approach and a bid for Ekitike, we know where we stand. If Liverpool in the next 24 hours actually go, you know what, there's an £80 million bid for Ekitike, we know that Isak's off the table, yeah? At this moment in time, they've just had talks, just conversations. No bids have taken place apart from Newcastle with Ekitike, and Liverpool want to know where they stand. They want to know the situation. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. I don't think there's any new. Just Sky Sports are saying Liverpool have in discussions with Frankfurt over a move for Ekitike. Newcastle are aware of Liverpool's interest and are now reassessing their options. Oh, interesting. So it says here, Newcastle are aware of Liverpool's interest for Ekitike and are now reassessing their options. It's not a lot of options out there in the striker market. This is the only problem. This is the problem. This is the problem. Big up Liverpool 67. He says, Jane, do you think Ekitike will join us? No, we're willing to let Newcastle have him. Yeah. He'll want to join us, man. He'll want to join us. Gareth says, no, I disagree. I think we might be for Ekitike to pressure Isak into forcing a move. This is a shout. I didn't think of that. Big up, Gaz. Now, this is a big shout because this makes a lot of sense. Liverpool, this is one big power play, by the way, if this is what Liverpool are doing. Because you've got to remember, 24 hours ago, when this Newcastle, with Isak stuff came out, reports from David Ornstein and Fabrizio were saying that Liverpool weren't too sure about Ekitike. Does everyone remember this? Like 24 hours ago. Liverpool weren't too sure about Ekitike, were the wording. Now Liverpool have made apparently approach for Ekitike. Guys might be onto saying, are Liverpool trying to make a bid for Ekitike to put pressure on Isak? Because Isak could be looking at it and going, whoa. Why are Liverpool turning their attentions away from me? That's what Isak could be thinking. He could be sitting there right now and going, hang on, I thought Liverpool were after me. I thought Liverpool wanted me. And now we've got a... Now, why are they going to Ekitike? So it could be a power play like that. Big up, Gage. You could be right, man. You could be right. Yeah, Sesko is probably more expensive at the moment. That is very true. Reports 10 days ago, Ekitike is available for 65 million. It's glaring what's happening with this. Big up Scottish Bear. That's very true as well. Poor Sesko, man. No one wants Sesko. If Isak wants Liverpool, it happened. He has moved 6 times already. This is very true. He's been around. Sociedad, Borussia Dortmund, I believe, Newcastle. He's had clubs already in his young career. But yeah, Gaz makes a great point, man. Gaz makes a great point. I pray we get Isak. Then if Diaz gets sold, we move for Rodrigo. Interesting, man. Big up SG hashtag 20 in the chat has become a Team OG member. Big up, man. Appreciate the love. Thank you for very much for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Big up Colin in the chat. Jane is assessing their options, Rashford to Newcastle. Can you see it? Yeah, I can actually. I can, because there's a certain newspaper that we don't talk about anymore. Fuck the Mail. That said that we are after Rashford. I mean, what bullshit was that, man? Do you know what I'm saying? What bullshit is that? Big up 1 minute motivation in the house. It looks less like a power play and more like Newcastle kick their best striker at the helm, and we're getting a B-Tech version of him. I don't rate him, Jamie. Oh, you don't rate him? I'm telling you, if we get Ekitike, in a year's time, we're going to look back at it and go, fucking hell, what a player we got. I'm not saying he's better than Isak, but Ekitike is better than people think, man. Trust. I'll be happy with him, honestly. I'll be happy with him. Be up tired of Super again, man. WCU, man. Whatever happens, Isak isn't extending his contract, and that's a problem. If Isak is not extending his contract at Newcastle are in trouble, man. They are. It's worse for them. Lauren's got a theory. Let's have a look at Lauren's theory. Newcastle need Ekitike in the door, then they let Isak go. I hear you, Lauren, but that's a very risky game to play, though, ain't it? Because if Isak is obviously still at Newcastle when they buy Ekitike, we'd have to seriously have conversations with Newcastle that Isak will happen. So yeah, that is very risky. It could be what we're doing, but yeah, that is risky. Why else would they have not responded to our formal approach yet? This is very true as well. Very true. You would have thought he'd just been kicked out of the bag, wouldn't you? You know, because as you say, Ornstein and that have been chatting for the last 24 hours about this situation. They've been putting up different stories every single minute of the day. None of them so far is a story about Newcastle batting Liverpool away. Very interesting. Very interesting. It is risky, though, if we do it that way, man. It is risky. Ekitike's a baller, though. Trust, man. He's a baller. Big up my man, Daryl. Gives out a membership. Much love to Daryl, man. Much love to Daryl. Now, Bruno got that membership. There you go, Bruno. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Big up Jen LFC in the chat as well. Big up my man, Liverpool 67 in the chat. My man, Ant Dicko as well. OG. You're in the chat as well. Guys, what do we think, Ken? I'll ask you guys. Are Liverpool just playing the biggest power play here? Are Liverpool bidding? I'll tell you what. Change that. It is mad risky, Lauren. It is mad risky. Do we believe Isak has said yes to Liverpool? I'll ask you guys in the chat first, yeah? I'll ask everyone in the chat first. Do you guys believe Isak has said yes to Liverpool? Just put yes or no in the chat. Just put yes or no in the chat. Do you believe he said yes to Liverpool? Big up everyone with the memberships, the membership giving from Daryl as well, and everyone super chatting so far. I appreciate the love, guys. I appreciate the love. I'm 60% sure we get Isak once he starts pushing for it. Scottish Bears like Ekitike's coming, man. Yeah, both clubs are pussyfooting around here. Could argue. Yes, definitely. Poker. It's Isak. Big up. Yes. Some no's in the chat. Right. So, if we go on the assumption that Isak has said yes to Liverpool, like a lot of you think, yeah. If we go on that assumption, yeah, Jamie, Isak told Newcastle at the start of June he wants to move to us. So, if Isak has told Liverpool that he's open to the move, yeah, and Liverpool have decided to talk to Frankfurt about Ekitike to make Isak put in some kind of transfer request. Is that what we're trying to say here? Because I think that's the only way Isak's going to join join Liverpool, is if that we get Isak to either put in a transfer request or just tell Newcastle that I want to go. You know, Liverpool have come in for me. They're the Premier League champions. You know, and I can see myself there winning lots of trophies in the years to come, and winning a Champions League, winning a Premier League again, maybe. Because you got to think about it. If Isak came to Liverpool, yeah, if Isak came to Liverpool next season, Isak, Florian Wirtz, Mo Salah, whoever the left wingers go be, even if it stays Diaz, McAllister, Grav, all that, Virgil, and you go feel like he's got a bigger. Isak's going to have a much bigger chance to be more successful at Liverpool next season than he is staying at Newcastle this season. So it could push Isak to go that way and push Newcastle. I want to leave now. I've loved my time here, but Liverpool have come in and they want me, and I could just see myself winning lots of stuff at Liverpool. But I understand the price has got to be right. I'm not going to kick up a stink about it. I don't think he's out to kick up a stink about it, but I can see him being polite about it and going, look, they want me. I'd love to go there and experience that and win everything at Anfield and Liverpool. I want to do that, but I'm not going to kick up a stink about it. I know you need the right price. And that's when Liverpool and Newcastle talk, and maybe it's like 135, 140 million, whatever it is the right price, and Liverpool get their man. And they're using Ekitike as some kind of pawn in this transfer tug of war. You know what I'm saying? They use poor Ekitike being used as a pawn here, right? And then Liverpool sort out the exact stuff. Ekitike goes to Newcastle. Newcastle get more money. Liverpool give them 135, 140 million. Yeah. They got more money to go and buy Ekitike. No problem. It sorts out their PSR for the years to come as well, because that's a lot of money spent out. And also they can go and get the centre-back and goalkeeper they need. So we could fund their summer and they could get a good team. So, yeah, but it's fucking risky. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's extremely, extremely risky to play it this way, man. Extremely risky. The less risk for Liverpool, look, at the end of the day, the less risk for Liverpool is that they just go and buy Ekitike. I just think it's odd timing that Isak comes back for pre-season, suddenly Newcastle will bidding for a striker. Yeah, and apparently Isak's agent put on hold all contract talks, didn't he? Leo says, what if Newcastle agree a deal for Hugo Ekitike while we are waiting for Newcastle to answer? But Isak, and then they tell us to F off. We're playing a dangerous game here. We are playing a dangerous. It is risky. I think that's why Liverpool have made their approach for Ekitike. As we know today, Newcastle did make a second bid for Ekitike for £70 million, but that was turned down today. Then Liverpool have obviously had a conversation with Frankfurt. They've understood that Newcastle had a £70 million bid rejected. I don't think Liverpool got any problem paying the money that Frankfurt want for Ekitike. Especially if Liverpool are sitting there saying, we can afford Isak comfortably, then Liverpool got no problems paying the money for Alexander Isak. James, what if we want to buy both Ekitike and Isak? Now, this is one thing that has been thrown out there by some people today, throwing it out there. This is a situation where that could happen. Diaz and I think Diaz and Nunes will both leave the football club. Yeah, I think Liverpool know that Bayern Munich do have the money, because Bayern Munich were going to bid €100 million for Florian Wirtz. They were going to bid €100 million for Florian Wirtz, yeah? So Liverpool know they've got that money. Also, Bayern Munich apparently need to get their wage bill down a little bit, yeah? Get their they need to get their wage bill down a little bit. It's why they've not gone and bid for Rodrigo, because Rodrigo's already on 200 grand a week. 55k a week is what apparently Diaz is on. If Bayern Munich get Diaz and double his wages to 150 million, £150,000 a week, £160,000 a week, then they can keep their wage bill down by also having a very good player at their football club as a new transfer. So, yeah, I think Diaz will leave. I think Darwin will go to Saudi. I think we'll get our money. And I think Liverpool might look at it and think, you know what? Let's get both. Let's do both. I don't know. Look, that would just be fucking mental. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely mental if they went out there and did both. I don't think that'd be the case. I think Liverpool just want to go. But they do need. Look, I know it's mental saying this, yeah. Both is wild, man. It's the most wild thing in the world. This summer, though, I just don't know with Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know. But both is wild, yeah? We need to replace Diogo Jota. You know, much love to Diogo Jota and his family, but the passing hit us all hard, and it's left a hole, in our team, unfortunately. And Liverpool probably do need two strikers, this summer. They probably do need two strikers this summer. So maybe it's not out of the realms of possibility of Liverpool try and get both. There's been a lot of other information out there, like Liverpool looking at people like Mateta and Nkunku and things like that. And I said this a few days ago when these rumours came up that Liverpool were looking at people like Nkunku and Mateta. They're not being looked at as first choice strikers. They're not looking at them as first choice strikers. They're looking at them at maybe a Jota replacement in that squad as a backup striker. Now, I don't think we're going to get both. I think getting both is fucking madness. Do you know what I mean? I'm not sitting on. I know we're doing mad business this summer and we're looking to spend mad money, but getting both is just absolutely. I can't see that happening at all. We ain't getting both. We're not getting both. I think Liverpool will get an Ekitike and Isak and maybe look for someone else like a little bit cheaper. Maybe they look at maybe Liverpool do look at someone like Nkunku at Chelsea for about 30 million quid. Someone a little bit cheaper, smaller wages, can come in, play that second fiddle role, no problem. Maybe they're looking at something like that as that second choice striker, but to buy both would just be fucking mad. If Richard Hughes or Michael Edwards can pull that off, by the way, it'd be out of this fucking world. But I don't like talking about it because it's not long since he passed away. But if we do really actually think about it, Liverpool do need two strikers this summer. So, yeah, Lucas says there, Edwards loved Nkunku. So, maybe there is something there. Who knows? But I just don't see us saying both. I'll be out time with the Super again. Much love to you, man. I don't mind either. I don't want to be empty-handed. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. I don't think there's any more news at the moment. I mean, this whole thing. Florian Plettenberg. Ooh. So Florian Plettenberg. That's what has he just put? Alexander Isak is the priority for Liverpool. Internally, he has always been and still is their number one target, followed by Hugo Ekitike, as reported. The key now is Isak. If Liverpool do not get Isak, they want to push for Ekitike. However, Newcastle could imagine with playing with both Isak and Ekitike, and Frankfurt have not reached an agreement with any club. So this is from Florian Plettenberg. So Alexander Isak is still the priority for Liverpool, as he's saying here. And that's not changed even still. Even though we've made contact with Frankfurt about Ekitike, Liverpool's priority is still Alexander Isak. I don't know, man. This is it's getting a bit balmy out there, man. It's getting a bit balmy out there. He's actually going to try and refuse to play. He's not that kind of guy, though, is he? He's not that kind of guy. Big up Hennessy in the chat. Big up my man K-Mac in the chat. I just see him there. That money is there, and and it fails to have the cash to blow Newcastle out of the water for Ekitike. Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say. Liverpool financially can go and get Ekitike if they want to because they can afford Isak. So, yeah, but the problem is it all depends how far along Newcastle and Ekitike and Frankfurt are in negotiations. Because there could be a world deal. A lot of people have said this in the chat in this stream already that, you know, Ekitike could want just Newcastle now. You know, Ekitike could just want Newcastle now. Newcastle have been the most active of Ekitike. They've had 2 bids turned down for him. They've obviously spoke to him. Ekitike could now just have it in his heart, no matter who comes in, that, you know what, I'm going to go to Newcastle. You know, that could be the thing. Like, Liverpool could be left with egg on their face. Got to be careful in this. And obviously, as a PSG have a little bit of the pie in the Ekitike deal as well, so that's why Frankfurt want a lot of money for Ekitike because they need to make some money for themselves because I think PSG have about a 20, 25, 30% sell-on clause, so they're going to get a piece of the pie. So that's why his transfer fee's so high. Ekitike is waiting for us, this someone Jamie. Yeah, he might have been at the start of it. But the problem is, when another team coming in, they've built up a rapport and relationship, sometimes, you know, players then get their head turned, you know what I mean? So, yeah, this is one risky game Liverpool playing. Big up Tyler, another super chat. If Isak is refused to play, I wouldn't want him. Yeah, I hear that as well. I hear that as well. True, but he ain't winning shit there. Yeah, I mean, that's true as well, to be fair. You know what I'm saying? Only way it happens is if Isak says straight up he wants to leave. If he doesn't, Newcastle won't accept him for, I don't think. And this is the thing. According to some reports from Florian Plettenberg, from Ben Jacobs, or Fabrizio, it sounds like what their base is saying is that Liverpool approached Newcastle about Alexander Isak. The only reason they do that is because they had encouragement. And encouragement pretty much means that they got spoken to. Like, whoever did it, Isak, through his agent or whatever, has said, yeah, I'd be up for that. I would like to join Liverpool if I can. If Newcastle allow me, I'd like to leave, yeah? So that's where the encouragement comes from. The problem is he's Newcastle's player and he's got a 3-year contract. And we've got to think as well, is Arne Slot compromising, you know, is Arne Slot compromising on quality as well? Another thing we've got to think about. You know, what is Slot compromising on? Does Slot just want, is Slot going, right, I want Isak. You know, he's the player I want. Is he going to compromise on quality on a different, because whoever we go for, that ain't Alexander Isak, it's not going to be as good as Alexander Isak, even though if they're a good player in their own right. Say, I like Ekitike. I think Ekitike is a wonderful player and he'll be really good for Liverpool, but he's not as good as Alexander Isak. So you got to wonder what the manager wants as well. Jamie is saying he will sit on the bench, Newcastle, and be happy. Ekitike, like, Newcastle seem to think Ekitike can partner Isak in their team. They go play them together. I just don't see Newcastle playing 4-4-2 and sacrificing a midfielder for a striker. I just don't see it. I think everything we're hearing at the moment is just bullshit from everyone. You know, Newcastle are playing it well. You know, you've got to give Newcastle credit right now. Newcastle playing this game really well. And we'll see what happens. Huge risk for Newcastle. If they hold on to Isak and we get Ekitike, their main striker, 3 years left and the striker market is done after Ekitike unless they get Sissoko. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the weird one out of all this is that no one's ever mentioned Osherman, which is crazy to me because he is a goal scorer. But there must be something with Osherman that no top club is liking. Arsenal did want him, Chelsea did want him, Liverpool don't want him. Newcastle apparently don't want him. Like Newcastle, the amount of money they've. Do you know Newcastle's second bid for Ekitike that got turned down would have bought Osherman? Do you know that? Would have bought Osherman. They had a £70 million bid. £70 million bid rejected. Right, rejected from Frankfurt for Ekitike today. That would have bought Osherman's release clause, but no one wants him. No one wants him. Why? Why does no one want Osherman? Yeah, Osherman looks like he's going to Turkey. And you think of the player that he is, he shouldn't be playing in Turkey, should he? Came out and said Liverpool probably agreed terms with his outcome. Yeah, that's going to be the case. You know, that's what we spoke about earlier. You know, Liverpool have only made a move for Isak because there's been encouragement. There's been encouragement. Jay, I don't want Ekitike spending £86 million on a player who's only had one good season. Doesn't make sense. Get Isak who is ready made. Yeah, but the problem is Gangandeep. If you can't get Isak, you gotta get that's the issue. Yeah, you go overpay for a player, but if you can't get Isak, who do you buy? Bigger ends. That's the thing. You know, like what? Like, would you rather spend £86 million on Ekitike or £86 million on Benjamin Sesko? Or for some reason, no big club wants Osherman. He's off to Turkey by the look of it. This is the market we're in. I like Ekitike. I think Ekitike is a player. Again, I'm not going to profile him being at Frankfurt and what he did at Frankfurt. I think Ekitike in a Liverpool shirt would be absolutely superstar. I really do. I believe that. But who's out there, man? And who's out there? Plus, I agree with everyone here, you know. Ekitike's had that one season. It's a lot of money, and it is. It is. So, I think... I think it's the most like Isak on the market. I think that's what it is. You know, the way Ekitike plays is the most like player to Isak on the market. Like Osherman, like if you look at Sesko, I think Sesko's a good player, by the way. I think a lot of people have done Benjamin Sesko a bit dirty. I actually think Benjamin Sesko's actually a decent footballer. But Benjamin Sesko is a completely different kind of player to Alexander Isak. But when you look at Ekitike is very similar to Alexander Isak. And I think that's why Liverpool are looking at Ekitike more than any other player, because it's the way Ekitike moves with the ball, the way he carries the ball, the way he can link up play. You know, them parts of his game are very similar to Alexander Isak's. Obviously, the only thing he's not similar with is finishing, because Alexander Isak is a far better finisher. But yeah, I think Ekitike will be a very good player for us. I really do. Now, I'd go and get Osherman personally if you want a football club. If you want a striker, go and get Osherman. He bags goals. But as I said, for some reason, whatever it is, no big club wants to touch Osherman. So this is where we sit. This is where we sit. And the thing is, I do trust Marco Edwards and Richard Hughes. I do trust Marco Edwards and Richard Hughes when they're looking at players. Especially Marco Edwards, they get it right a lot of the time. Of course, they get things wrong, no doubt about it. But you know, it's just, yeah. I trust them. If they think Ekitike is the guy, I'm fully behind them. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Michael Edwards and that did not want Darwin Núñez, yeah? They didn't want Darwin Núñez at all, right? So I know a lot of people were saying, the Darwin Núñez thing with Ekitike, one season wonder. The fact that this club did not want Darwin Núñez and Darwin Núñez was a one-man power trip kind of buy. I think that tells you they probably feel like Ekitike is nothing like Darwin Núñez and has got the potential to be far better. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. I know a lot of people ain't, but as I said, let's see how things go. You know, if we do buy him. But at this moment in time, as Fabrizio, I'm just watching a video of Fabrizio here at the moment, and he's basically saying here in this YouTube video that he did is that the player seems open to a move to Liverpool. Apparently, hang on, let me share this. Let me share this. Hopefully, you guys will be able to hear it.
What I'm told is also that the player didn't close the doors to Liverpool. So the player didn't stop Liverpool from doing that. The player is still in conversations with Newcastle because they want to offer him a new contract. We know that. So Newcastle really hope to advance on that one. But the player didn't stop Liverpool. The player didn't say no to Liverpool. The player seems to be open to the move. So it's now in Newcastle hands. There
you go. There you go. So, from Fabrizio there, from what he's heard and what he's saying, from what he's heard, you know, it looks like Isak is open to the move to play for Liverpool. All depends how, Isak demands to leave or not. I don't know. Chris the Wall, is it, or whatever his name is, selling Isak for 120 million plus would essentially encourage any PSR constituents for a foreseeable future and could be revised in the squad. So yeah, this is a big up and for DMing me this. Let me just share this with the people so they can see as well. Let me make that bigger so you guys can see it. There you go. There you go. So selling this at for 120 million would essentially any PSR constraints for the foreseeable future and could be invested into the squad. So again, that's probably something. I think that comes from a Newcastle journalist as well. Be it HA. Do I believe it's going to happen? I'm not sure, man. But yeah, that is interesting. Again, yeah, 120 million plus, and they got no PSR constraints after that. They'd have a lot of money in the squad to reinvest, and it could set them up for the next few years. It's interesting, man. Interesting. No doubt about that, man. This saga could go on, man. I just want to hear one way or the other so we can all move on. Do you know what I mean? We need to hear stuff one way or another so we can all move on. Chris Wall again has basically said 3 words repeated at the very top of Newcastle, not for sale. Stadium training ground, now Liverpool interest in Isak. Ekitike battle still going. Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, a true test of Newcastle's owners' ambitions. One way, one they always expected. I don't know, man. I don't know. We just need to hear a here you go or something, man. Either Liverpool are going to put a bid in for, maybe Liverpool put a bid in for both strikers, yeah, and then they see where their cards land. Maybe that's what Liverpool do. Maybe Liverpool put a bid in for Isak and they put a bid in for Hugo Ekitike, and then they just see where their cards land. K-Mac is banning everyone. What? I don't think K-Mac's banned anyone, has he? Who got banned? No one got banned. No one got banned. Ekitike has one season for 1,500 minutes. Exactly. Yeah, I hear you, Scraps. I hear you. It's a risk. I didn't go lie. Jamie, did you see what Indy posted 30 minutes ago? No. Indy's a more reliable source than Paul Joyce these days. The fact of the matter, we haven't heard fuck all from Paul Joyce, by the way. Like nothing. Nout. Which is a bit weird considering what's going on at the moment. That we've not heard anything from Paul Joyce. Let me have a look. I'm trying to have a look. Hang on. Let me have a look. Saudi Arabia's public investment fund are unimpressed with Liverpool's attempts to bully them into selling Alexander Isak, according to Telefootball. Newcastle are willing to fight back and have therefore responded by investing in talks in Hugo Ekitike. Wow. So you're not allowed to buy players, apparently. You're not allowed to buy players from Newcastle. They get pissed off. It's the same with fucking Nottingham Forest and his owner, ain't it? Any player that fucking wants to leave Nottingham Forest, he sues you and takes you to court. It's fucking mad. These clubs, man, like you can't fucking buy anyone. No, I'm not having Mateta as a number one striker. No, I'm good, man. I'm good. Each their own. I'm having Ekitike if I can't get Isak, man. Trust me, Ekitike fucking go smash the shit out of the league if he comes to Liverpool. Trust me, man. Trust. Mateta wouldn't even get 10 goals in that Frankfurt team. 9 goals. And Mateta as a backup, though, but not as the first teamer. Yeah, Ekitike does business, man. Trust me. Be a good signing, man. It's just going to cost a lot of money, which I do agree is overpriced. But that's the market we're in, ain't it? It's the market we're in, guys. It's the market we're in. I don't think there's any more news. We're literally just waiting there. We've got to see what the next step is. You know, what the next step for Liverpool is, what the next step for Newcastle is. Apparently, Newcastle owners are pissed off because you can't apparently buy their players. You know, they get upset about it, poor them. But hey, guys, make sure you're hitting the like button, make sure you're hitting the subscribe button, make sure you're hitting the share button. Appreciate it. I love being Hannah in the chat as well. Didn't see you there, Hannah. Hope you're doing well. Setting is at for 120 would essentially engulf any PSR constraints for the foreseeable future and could be invested in the squad. That is the other thing as well. Be a Hannah as well every time. Jamie, even Pierce hasn't shut Isak down, and that's rare for him. Exactly. Liverpool want Isak, man. Liverpool want Isak, and will it happen? I don't know. I don't know. At this moment in time, I think we buy Ekitike. Right now, sitting here right now, I think Liverpool buy Ekitike. But I'm still hoping for that. I'm still hoping that we can get Isak, obviously. Yeah, exactly, Scraps. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, Mateta's 28, man. I like Mateta, though. I ain't going to say Mateta's shit or anything. I think Mateta, I'd have Mateta as a backup striker. I ain't got a problem with that. I think Mateta is very purple patch, though. I think he's very purple patch. But I'd have him in the team as a backup. I said that yesterday, I think. Like, Liverpool need 2 strikers. You know, if you want to get an Isak and a Mateta or an Isak or an Nkunku, I'm all up for that, man. I'm perfectly fine with that. Do you know what I mean? I think that's as a backup striker, he'd be perfect. You know, coming on in games, bullying the defence and stuff like that. I hope so, Daryl. I hope we do. But I just got this feeling that, you know, Liverpool don't want to, because it's risky what Liverpool doing, yeah? Liverpool, I think Liverpool want Alexander Isak, and they go attempt everything in their power to get him. But if they can't get him, then I think they'll move on to Ekitike. But then Newcastle are the ones that have got a bit more of a relationship with Ekitike than we have right now, because they've had 2 bids, obviously, been talking to him. So, yeah, we could be really fucked over. We could be fucked over and have no one, or we win the battle and we get Alexander Isak. That's the way it's going to be, man. And hopefully we'll hear some more news. So, guys, I'm going to end it there. Big up all the super chatters. Big up people getting memberships as well, and such. Big up Hannah in chat. Big up Mickey in the chat as well for his night. Scratch, my man Malcolm, and all the other beautiful people in the chat. Thank you for being here. If there is any breaking news any time later tonight, of course I'll be live. But if not, I'll probably be back tomorrow, because I'm sure there'll be a bit more news tomorrow. So, yeah, Isak and Lookman would be good. I think Liverpool are looking at Lookman as well. I saw a report in the live chat just now, so we'll look out for that. So, guys, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you put a notification bell on in case I just go live out of the blue, because that could happen with this transfer market at the moment. And, yeah, we are waiting, guys. It's as simple as that. Is it going to be Isak? Is it going to be Ekitike? Is it going to be either of them? Is it going to be none of them? Is it going to be both of them? Oh, you want me to raid the Sam? Why, is the Sam live? Okay, I'll go. If the Sam's live, I can raid a Sam. Yeah. Raid is on. I didn't know Sam was live. Let me have a look. Is the Sam live? Is the Sam live? Sahid's live. I could go over there. Sam is live. There you go. 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 Go over there. Tell him Jamie sent you. Guys, this is going to take you over to a Sam's channel. Go and tell him Jamie sent you, guys. Go and raid a Sam's channel. Much love to you guys. Hopefully we'll get some news soon.